Okay, so I really wanted to talk about. I wanted to start out talking about these OCO orders that I keep saying that I'm going to try and have not been doing, but I wanted to point it out to the community because it could be used with the Strat. Um, and I guess if anybody sees it later and can comment on it. I know that there's not a whole lot of videos on it using it with the Strat, but I know that Alex Options did do a video on it. So that kind of helped me kind of understand it. But basically, it's a conditional order, so it's really useful if you can't watch things all the time, and if you base it off your Strat entries and exits, then it's just kind of like letting the brokerage trade it for you. So the way to do it is you say you wanted to buy Uber and say you were buying an Uber call, you wanted to buy the $29 call. So when you click on it and it normally comes down here, normally this says single like that. So what you would do is you would change it to an OCO order. And then what you would do is you would click on this gear icon right here and it brings up these conditions. So what you want to do is you want to change the rules to market, because if you put it as a limit order, you may not get filled, because we all know that price can move fast, or just something can happen where if you're not watching it and you can't adjust it, you might just completely miss the trade. So it's best to just put it as a market order. And then you come down here to the conditions and click on there. It'll put the symbol in there, and you click on this method and you go to study and then edit, and then this will come up. So you're going to go to the think script editor over here and change this time frame based on whatever Strat entry or exit you're using. So if you're using, say, a 4-hour entry, right, and you're saying that why my extended hours are on, but just say that this breakup is what you want. You want it when it breaks up here, you want to catch that move right there. So you would change this to the high is greater than the high from 1 bar ago, and that's it. And you click OK. Oops, wait, go back because I missed something. Settings. Wait, I might need to go back in like this because I had to click this off. You need to, that was the problem. That's why I had the extended trading session on. But yes, so, for Uber, if you wanted to catch this 4-hour break, your conditions are saying that when this breaks this high, I want to buy. And I'm going to buy that, go back to it, the $29 call. And so then once you do that, you just click save and confirm and send, and the brokerage will basically do it for you. Now, I know that there's like another way you can, if I'm not mistaken, I think you would have to do 2 of them. I wish there was somebody else here that actually was more experienced with it. But there is a way that you can set both your buy order. So say, this is my buy order. I want it when it breaks the high of that 4-hour. But then I also want to take profit at my target, at my Strat target. And then also, if it invalidates, I want my stop loss here. That type of thing. You can set all of these parameters in these orders before you actually place the trade. So you can really like literally sit here and plan out your trades for the next day and actually set it up. Maybe that pre-market, see, if you want to, these are the ones I want to take, and set it up and let the thing trade for you during the day. You come back and you either been stopped out with profit, if the trade didn't work, whatever. But this is a nice way to not have to watch it all the time and actually automate it. So it's everything is it literally takes all of the guessing out of the trade. Oh, this triggered. Should I take it? It's going to take it. And if it, you're going to set your parameters so that if it fails, it's going to automatically take you out the trade. So you won't have the, oh, I may hold this, I may loosen my stop, maybe it'll come back. It's going to just take you out the trade according to whatever parameters you have set. So that's it with OCL orders, unless anyone is here that has any more experience with it. I just kind of wanted to go over it briefly, just so that the community knows some of the tools that we have out here. Okay, so I guess we can talk about SPY. Excuse my background. I am outside, so as the kids are noisy inside. All right, so I did say that I was going to talk about SPY every week when we do our little study sessions, and we see that SPY has triggered to the downside. One thing, we've fallen really fast here, so I am still aware of possibilities. Like, y'all know one of my favorite setups is this 50% rule. We've taken out last month lows. We can certainly try to go back up. I think that the only thing that can really probably push that is Powell speaking on Thursday. So keep that in mind. He speaks Thursday at 9:10 a.m. It's like a really awkward time, I think, but it's pre-market. So not to say that he'll move the market like he did last time, but we actually don't know. Last time it sold off hard. People may be expecting that, and then that's when it boosts the other way, or. But as of now, we have broken to the downside on the month. The shooter is in force. This is our quarter open here around 379, which is also coincidentally around the gap on the daily, the next gap that we have right there, which is like really my downside target for this wave. If it gets there, I think it would need to break this 380 to fill that gap, and I think that's a pretty strong support. One thing I also want to point out is, so we've been talking about this Head and Shoulders and how the Head and Shoulders played out. I also want to point out, when you zoom out, there is a bigger inverse Head and Shoulders here that will only invalidate if it breaks this 380. So it could certainly bounce at this 380 and the reverse. It could it could find some support there and do something, but just understand these are levels I think that are important. That, and also remembering that 380 is that bear market level for SPY. We're back in the bear markets with Q, so I'll talk about that in a second. But that's the bear market level for SPY. So we do want to keep this bigger pattern in mind, but according to Strat, we can expect more downside. I think that this week is going to be pretty volatile because of Powell coming up. We could certainly trade sideways. I honestly would prefer if we have an inside week, just because a lot of things are so many two downs on the week. It's just, I don't really like playing those. So give us a rest week so that we can continue down. It just makes for better setups, in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. I think that this 390 to 400 level is an area we might be bouncing around in for a while, especially this week. Honestly, the area to break out of, so yeah. And another thing is, remember back here, we fell so far so fast here, and then we kind of also zoom through it. So it may want to take some time to iron out this area, just understanding ranges and things like that. Barely took out these. We didn't take out these people right here. So interesting to see what next week looks like. You know, that daily candle is, ew. And so the Qs, same thing on the month. Triggered to the downside. Shooter is in force. I did not have the quarter open here, which is right here. $279. Yeah, 279. Why does it say 180? That's so weird. Yeah, 279 is the quarter open, which is right past the target of this. So on the day, it's similar. It didn't quite touch the 200 like SPY, but it's like, it's really similar. We have this is the same area that we fell from before. May need to iron that out. I mean, the daily candle looks almost exactly the same. Could certainly push up a little bit. So, yeah, I don't think there's a gap here. 288. There's a tiny little gap there. That one was filled. Yeah, but, shoulder, head. Look at it like this, actually. It teeny little inverse head and shoulders, but not really. I more see the head and shoulders here. If you want to make it even bigger, head, we might need to make a shoulder right here if we're continuing down. So, September should be pretty red, but, people take profits, things like that. We may need to have a little bounce so that people can re-enter their short positions, like me. Little gap on the upside too. 322. I think that could be a positive. This is the last time Powell spoke, so that, if any upside, would probably be the target here, and then that. And so then WM, I just want to look at, because small caps, I'm not sure if anybody trades small caps, but they have their times when they shine. So, and then IWM, if you are familiar with it, it's an ETF just like SPY. So it has those the same type of expirations. 3 days out of the week, they have the 0 days. So, it's something that you can play, kind of like how you play SPY. Doesn't move as much, but that's still a decent ATR for a day. But it's really like all of these charts look the same, even down to the daily candle being the red, not even a hammer, but kind of sorta. Like all three of them look the same. With the wannabe inverse head and shoulders in a larger time, but in this last few weeks, that head and shoulders. Time frame is red. Quarter open for IWM is 169. So we would be looking for these quarter opens, to somehow, not somehow, at some point trigger us into full time frame continuity this month if we continue being red. A lot of that would probably depend on what happens with Powell. But I don't even know how these are old. But yeah, they a lot of them do have those twos that I really don't like. So does anybody have any questions before I get into some monthly things that I was looking at? Y'all can if you don't want to unmute, feel free to type them in the study time chat. Let's see.
I just want to say I need one more two for next week, and the market can do what it wants.
One more two
One more two. That's all I need.
on cost. Yes,
Two down, just one more, and I'll go
for
for the
cost
calls
for
after that.
sure. That's what we need. We swung costs, y'all. So we are looking for this two down. It'd be great to get us to this target, this 508 target here. I did want to also speak about cost. We're already in it, but you know, it has triggered the monthly two up, two down. So, this could work out for a swing. I am thinking that, for instance, like how I would play this is it hits the 508. We're pretty sure that, we're going to have people taking their profits because it's hit that target. You can get back in for the rest of the month because the monthly target is down here at 478. And we have all of this fair value gap to fill. So, we may even drop down to 491. It's possible. So this could be something that could be played all month. You get stopped out, you may get back in if it's still good and under the monthly trigger. This is just, I think this may be a good play for September, honestly.
Right. Yeah, that's the next support. It's at 509, I think. That's my price target to get out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think we're already up on it, so hopefully next week it does what it should do, and collect profit. So we're already in that part.
But yeah, again, I am going to keep watching it all month though, because 508, yeah, we taking profit, but we're not going to miss that. We're going to continue watching it if this thing decides it wants to go all the way down there. Like, we're going to get that money. That's that money.
How y'all doing? I'm Super, or you could call me Jamal or whatnot.
Jamal, what's up?
What's good? I noticed y'all.
I was like, who's this with the deep voice? So
y'all following Costco. I love Costco. And it also looks exactly like QQQ. I'm not sure if anybody else noticed that, but they move exactly alike. Because I guess Costco is in QQQ, but I noticed that you were following QQQ on your watch list there.
Wait, it is? It must not be a big part of QQQ. How did I miss that? Hold on, I may have missed that. Oh, it is 2% of the Qs. That's right. That's right.
The charts kind of look exactly alike. If you look at them, it kind of look.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me put this back over here so I can go back and forth. Kind of, sort of. I mean, hello, Head and Shoulders on the weekly. Haha. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, you got to go down to a smaller time frame.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the 2 hour. Yeah.
Or the 2 hour. I have a 1 hour. Oh, hello. Oh, I see what you mean. Yep, I see it. I see it.
Yeah. But they kind of move in tandem sometimes.
I mean, but look at this rejection. This is so perfect how it just is constantly just short the rip. Short the rip. Short the rip.
And it's just chiming in. I don't know if that's useful or anything. It's just a pattern that I noticed. Because, Costco's is part of QQQ. So QQQ is going to naturally move a little bit like Costco's and vice versa.
Very true. And Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. on the 1 hour. Let's see. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the same thing because I also chart like McDonald's, and so I noticed that just on the 2 hour to 1 hour, McDonald's looks exactly like SPY. So I'm kind of wasting all my time.
McDonald's.
Yeah, she
watching
loves McDonald's.
and all these other stocks, wasting all my brain power when I can just kind of watch SPY, and SPY will tell me, what McDonald's is doing, just because it's naturally part of it. And on the smaller time frames, they kind of move in tandem, or they move kind of exactly alike.
And it's interesting. I know I usually do that with Apple and Microsoft because they're such a big part of the Qs and SPY, but I wasn't hardly looking at the smaller ones, like the smaller percentages ones, like Cost and McDonald's. Like I really wasn't paying attention to that. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. For sure. Like I didn't even notice that with Cost though. Like wow. Oh, of course. That's not my kids, y'all. But okay. Okay. Let's see. I wanted to talk about some monthly setups that I saw. Because again, a lot of the weeklies, there's a lot of two downs. So um unless you're in it already, I feel like, it's not an actionable signal for me. So I don't really like playing those. So then I like to look at monthlies to watch to kind of give me something for the month that I can go down to a smaller time frame and watch intraday for it to trigger on the month, if that makes sense. So like, a good cheapie that I like is Starbucks. This is always a good way to start the week. Some cheapies like Starbucks and Uber, eBay. But this is a gravestone doji, not really a shooter, but it will go in force at 82.79. So, we had our little correction. Now we could still correct more, but on Strat, we're looking for this 2 up, 2 down reversal here. Larger time frame, if y'all are seeing it, shoulder, head, shoulder, and not even just shoulder, but also the H that we talk about. That H could happen. So, of course, the target is here, 75.80. And then new, I like the range here, but it needs to break this 8. So not just the Strat break for me. I need it to break this 8 because I feel like that's a secondary support. So I wouldn't like rush to get in it if it did break. Also, I mean, the time frame continuity, we haven't uncoupled for the month yet, so we got to keep that in mind as well. But looking for a 3-2 rev Strat if it does decide to reverse on new. And y'all know new is a good mover, so yeah, looking for this shooter to gravestone doji to kind of go in force. And then again, there's our head. So if we do that, we could also come down and then make a shoulder over here. And then Futu. I believe Futu was on my volume scanner, but I was also looking at it for this rev Strat up on the month. This is like an honorable mention. Futu is a little volatile, but it keeps coming up on the scanners for volume. So, people playing it. And this is, a hammer on the month. So, buy them in the money and boom, take that up. I think it was it on the week? It was an inside week. Yes, that's what it was. Inside week with a hammer. So looking for that breakout.
I like it.
So yeah, right into the broadened information, which would be that target. So it could be, a week and that could trigger the month for the 122 rep strat. And I would take it right there. The strat target is also the EMA. So yeah. VA owes me money. Girl, you already know. Oh my God. Because we were watching BA this whole time, y'all. And when we stopped watching it, it did this. I was just pissed. And then it did all of this, so then I also missed this. So I'm like, all right, I think we're about to do an H in a month. BA has been stuck in a downtrend for a while. I mean, it had that little run. I did want to catch that run up, but it's just been overall going down, and we've triggered on the month. So, we're already under that trigger for the month. If I'm not mistaken, it was I also like this rejection here. Was it the daily inside? Yes. Daily inside would take you right into continuing that on the month. So,
I'm gonna look at a tweezer pattern on the 29th. I love the tweezer pattern.
On the 29th?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. That's the wrong thing. You know me and the tweezer. You have to point that out to me.
Yeah, the bearish tweezer pattern. And I'm gonna start. Next time. On the way back up.
The tweezer pattern is
it's just a 2-bar pattern. So either it's like a red and a green or a green and a red. But they have to be like almost the same size.
Oh, so this green followed by this red would tell you that it's going to keep going down. Oh, right. You can combine that so much. And then with this EMA rejection, your Strat 3-2. Well, it's not 3-2, but you probably would find it on the 4-hour. If you were looking at it, you would just find entry or whatever. Yeah. Okay, I'll add that to my list of patterns that I recognize. But yeah, I like BA. I do like BA. And I just wanted to, of course, point out Apple. That shooter is in force. We know that, Apple will move SPY and QQQ like greatly. So, but Apple has an event Wednesday. It's the 7th. Okay. Yes, the 7th. So, it's hard to kind of tell what between that event and Powell, what kind of will happen. I don't feel like that event's gonna be anything special. Y'all know I'm Apple down, like I'm everything Apple, but I have like the Apple iPhone 11 or something, and I don't even need to update it because they keep coming out with like updates that make my phone just fine. So like I don't need to feel the need to they come out with a 14 with a better camera. I don't need to update. So I'm not really like excited like they're gonna do anything big that's gonna make them move a whole lot. But it's just something to be aware of. And then Amazon is also a part of SPY and Accused. It triggered, but then it came back in. So just something to be aware of. QCOM also triggered the 212 down on the month. I know you were talking about QCOM, Key, but that's still good. That shooter is still in force as long as it stays under this 131.
I missed that one, but yeah.
Of course, it's a series of 2s on the week, so but a way to play. Oh, it filled this gap over here. But it may have done its TTO. play the 2 down back into that monthly play. Of course, these will all need time, but yeah, I think it's time for a lot to calm down. Because I also think MU did the same thing. All the chips kind of look like that. These, no, that's not all. It barely triggered. AMD triggered. But we know Nvidia did. It gapped on the month, so it's also something to be aware of. The gap on the month is kind of heesh. And then I think SMH also, if you play the HTF. Yep. No gap there, so to 190. All of these things look the same. Netflix. Whoop. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. So Netflix has not triggered yet. It keeps kind of faking us out. So we'll have to just see. But I believe if it can break this area, I think it was 223. Well, we know the signal, the trigger is 218, but I think it was the 223 level that it's just like stuck on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would be great if it fills the gap, honestly. If it goes like on a run, that would be like awesome.
Yeah, because we do have shoes.
There's a big gap to still really.
That is a huge gap to fill. You have to see with that. On the week, it's not really. The Bulls kind of held the support here, so. But at the same time, saying ahead and shoulders.
Very tricky to go either way. Either way is gonna pay.
And that's a shooter on the day. So yeah, it will. And well, oh no, that was filled. Yeah. Netflix, you might just want to watch it both ways, honestly. Let it do this, if it decides to do that. And then if it does decide to go to fill that gap, playing it that way. Because it's a lot of gap to fill. But I think they got a downgrade. Didn't they get a downgrade?
Yeah, some sort of bad news came. So I was watching it for like 190 price target, but we shall see. Something with the advertisements and all that.
I don't know what that is, though. Aggressive ad plans as it races Disney. Hires 2 Snap ad executives. Okay. I don't really see a whole lot. I could have sworn they did get a.
I think they did. That's why it kind of tanked a little bit, but I think it hit support. It was something that came out about it. It had to be a downgrade or some sort of news.
Talking about this House of Dragons. Speaking of that, y'all, I started watching Game of Thrones again. Wait, close this back
from the beginning.
Girl, yes, because I haven't watched it in years. Oh my gosh, you should watch it. You should watch it. Like, oh yes, Kate, yeah, because I know you'd like that. You know what? I'm normally not a medieval person, and I'm not gonna lie. The first season, I'm actually going back and watching the first season because the first season I didn't pay attention to it until the last episode where they literally pulled the rug out from under me, and I was like, "Wait, what just? Oh my god!" And I was hooked ever since then. But I never went back and like watched the first episode, the first season. I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going. But it's really good. And they got that spinoff now. So now that the spinoff is here and I haven't watched the original in years, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go back and see all the Easter eggs that I'm not understanding before. But we were looking at Warner Brothers Discovery a while ago. They actually haven't done anything. It's not. I did want to look at it to see Looks like we may have some support here, but yeah, it's not doing much. But yeah, this is the company that owns that HBO Max and all of that. So, I think
Okay. Good y'all hitting on this joint though. WBD?
oh yeah, you got some?
Not right now, but
Oh, I mean, I'm still watching it. It's just it's not doing anything.
it's right. That's why I only got it right now, but
Yeah.
it's nice.
I mean, I'm feeling like yeah, we found a bottom here, so you know, maybe this even
Yeah,
might
I'm
be an
watching this
accumulation phase. Like,
because they dump for earnings, and so what I'm watching for is exactly where your cursor is now. October, they have their next earnings. So, like you said, they got these, the new Game of Thrones. That's going to be, everybody's watching that, and they weren't able to talk about that last earnings because it wasn't out.
right.
And then they also put out this little video game called Multiverses. That's basically like a way for them to earn money through video games. And that wasn't out the last time they reported earnings. So they can be, well, I know they're most likely generating revenue from that video game, just like all of the, the Fortnite and Apex Legends is basically something along the terms of that. Where
Right.
people can fight each other like Smash Brothers or something like that. But they have all this new stuff that they can talk about to the investors to, make them more attractive to invest in. So
And then they also,
going into October.
then they also cut a lot of programs. I think what caught my attention was they cut a bunch of like Sesame Street programs, but I think it was to cut costs or something like that to please their investors. So yeah, I can see that actually. That's good. So y'all keep this on your watch list. It has options, but I think shares would be safer with it. Plus, it's already cheap enough that you can do shares. Yeah.
Yep.
Like if you have it even, and you can buy 100 shares and sell covered calls on it. Like it can be weekly income for you. So it's something to put on y'all radar. Also, since you're on here, and I saw your tweet. So, y'all, I'm a nerd, but I love Lord of the Rings, like all of that too. That's the only other medieval stuff, but that's because I read the books and stuff. But Amazon just came out finally after like teasing us for 8 months with the Rings of Power. I haven't watched it yet, but Paul Itwaru, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. Paul E on Twitter said short Amazon because I'm thinking it's horrible. I know, of course, I said the same thing after watching one of Disney's movies, but I just wanted to put that out there. They did just finally come out with their Rings of Power thing. So, kind of like Warner Brothers Discovery, even though we were already looking bearish on them, just people were waiting for that. So, something to keep watch on. All right, my last ones are Honeywell. So again, a lot of these are looking the same. These are shooters that are going in force that I'm basically pointing out with decent range that I like. And that's why I'm pointing them out. Same with LVS. These are also different sectors. So Las Vegas Sands, that's the resort sectors. So if, travel is not doing well, this is something you can look at. It's been in a long downtrend. So it's not really a shooter, but the actionable signal is the 212 down. I'm gonna get to Meta in a minute. HD, and of course, I have this long list that I start out the month with, and of course, as the month goes on, I do trim this down. But these are just things that I start out looking at. Y'all know I like hammers and shooters, so looking for shooters to go in force. Actually, this hadn't. I'm not quite sure why. Was it on the week? May have been looking at this rejection, the 3-2 to trigger the month, but that's not triggered. That may have been put on there by accident. Target. Target was to the upside, possibly. It's kind of like Netflix. Target also has this gap to fill to the upside if it decides to go there. But it could also reject. I did like this on the day where if it decides to not go green, this 3-2 2 down reversal is even a great play for Monday if it rejects inside 4 hour. Nope, not inside 2 down, but green. So on the week, it would be a 2 down, 2 up reversal. That target. Then I would target this EMA. Still inside month, but consequently, if it reverses, your trigger is 157.11. So it wouldn't be there. It was on that 3-2 up, 2 down. So then we would find this support here because you can see, where it reacted, how it reacted last time it was here. It could possibly take these out and not continue. But if it does, then it would trigger the 2 down on the month and the shooter would go in force. So something to watch. It may take a while to do that because these are monthly things that we're looking at, but you kind of want to look at how it acts to see if it does trigger the monthly. So 2 weeks later, you're not like, oh, it did fall, or oh, I missed this move to the gap up. And then lastly, I wanted to point out something. The inverse to QQQ. So say you don't like really playing puts, or you're a little hesitant playing puts right now. You can always play the inverses and play calls. So if you see that QQQ is falling, then SQQQ is going up and it's cheaper. So I wanted to point out this hammer on the month that I've been watching. It went in force. So it's possibly good to this 60. That's a lot of range though, y'all. So that means the market would drop a lot if that does that. But just understand where we are. You came down, bull stepped in with a hammer and then broke above this 8. So I have to just see how this acts. Could also outside. So we're always ready either way. But yeah. Y'all, I get to talking. It is 5:50. Kiki.
What's up?
Girl, oh my goodness. What you looking at, girl? That I haven't pointed out already.
But we do like a little quick recap of the plays that I was in, and
Oh,
just to give
yes.
some people insight and like to how I think and
I
with
love
these beer
it.
plays. So we could start with UPS real quick. We're coming up on an hour.
Okay.
Entered the trade. Oh, here has my decline.
You said on the hour? Look on the hour?
No, I see my sister calling me right now. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I'll call you back. Okay. So we're gonna enter it off the daily. Please go, man.
Okay.
Okay. Right. So I entered on the 29th. No, the 24th actually.
Okay.
And once so we got a 3 candle on that day. So once price action broke below that EMA, what are you using, the 8?
Yes. Yeah. This is the 8 and this is the 20.
The 20? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So once price action under the 8 EMA, that's when I entered the trade. And so then after that, so we got the 3 on the day, so I'm watching for the next 2.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
And then you come, yep, the 3. Yeah, that's when I entered on the 3.
Okay.
That was the 24th. And if you go down to the 4 hour, and I think that 3 triggered the 2 up, 2 down on the week. It might have. Well, the previous week was a 2.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so
at 202.
once the daily triggered the week, I was like, okay, well, we're going to hold. So, because I wasn't really, because UPS could be a little iffy sometimes. Like, they'll drop and then reverse, then drop and reverse.
Oh, right.
And so you look down on the smaller time frame, like the 4 hour, you also get another 3 around that same time, like on the 24th, another 3.
It's rejecting.
And then the following day, it rejected off the EMAs. And then the following week, we got the 2. So I was like, okay, I need another 2 for the combo. So we got the next 2, and also, so it's the same combination on the 4 hour as on the day. So on the day, we got a 3, 2, 2. And on the 4 hour, we got a 3, 2, 2 as well. So I was like, okay, this is good. So let me see, pull it up here so I can see better.
It's great.
Yeah, our price target was 195 and then 193, and we hit both those targets. But mainly for me, I trade mainly off the EMAs, then I look at the Strat. So once price action crosses below that EMA support, I start looking for entry, and then I look at the Strat combinations. And then as long as price stays under the EMAs, for me, is good for puts. And so I stayed focused on the all the way down. And I got out at 195, but it did hit 193, I think, yesterday. So I got out a little bit early, but on the 4 hour.
That was good.
That was a good exit, yeah. I'm trying to be disciplined. He not be holding or not. I don't know.
Yes, then you'd be mad if you didn't.
I stay mad. So, do you have the 200 up there? What line is that? I can see information. So, also to my little trick too.
EMA, right?
Is not I use the MA. Yes.
Oh, the MA. Okay, hold on. Yeah. EMA. Okay.
Yeah, the 200.
So the 200 on the 4 hour is what you mean?
On the 4 hours. So that's my favorite, yeah. So for me, once price action crosses or gets near once price action is coming down towards like the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, I know that potentially price action crosses the 200 that is going to continue to tank most likely. Most times, like 9 times out of 10, most likely it continues to tank. But I kind of knew UPS was kind of getting exhausted. That was the price target, and it got close enough. And so I was expecting it to bounce, and it did bounce a little bit. So it's kind of staying within like a certain range. So,
the same range over here.
195. Yeah, 195 was good enough for me.
Same thing. Girl, you know what I'm about to say, right? All these shorts, they all have them. I can't unsee it.
I don't know. I don't see them patterns. I don't know.
I can't unsee that. I mean, and then we've
I'm gonna study that today, tomorrow, like the whole weekend.
I just can't unsee it.
I don't see the pattern.
Let me see this. No, I don't like that. No, can't really. I thought it was one, but it's not really. Kind of, sort of. Girl, yes. And this thing has been shorting the rip since here. Boom. Boom. The most it might come up here.
That line, it might be good for but you got to give UPS some time. I still had a whole nother week on that contract. I was like, I'm ready to take profit.
But I mean, on this 4 hour, we do have a hammer, so we could try. But I mean, overall, it's
oversold too. So that's another reason why I sold too as well. It's oversold on a 4 hour.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it to bounce a little bit.
It's maybe a good
then
play
wait for
to
another
upside.
re-entry.
Make that little show, yeah. On the day. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like when like 2 time frames have the same combination. That just gives me extra confirmation or extra confluence between time frames and the combo. So
yeah, that's my other thing with this week is, we have a short week and then we also have the uncoupling. So things will be kind of tricky, I think.
Right.
Especially with time frame continuity and stuff like that. So just got to be careful.
And then
what was your other one?
American Express. So with American Express, I mainly traded off the 4 hour. I don't know what's going on the week. I don't know what it was doing on the month.
But let's look. Well, y'all see, hey, it's triggered on the month, you guys. So,
it did trigger on the month.
It's triggered on the month. It's
not that I'm reviewing
rejected.
the trade, it triggered on the month.
Yeah. As long as it's under 157.5, it's good. But go ahead.
I entered on Monday, actually, with this week's expiration. And so let me zoom in so I can see what's going on.
Monday was, oh God, I can't. That was the 29th.
Yeah, so again, we got Friday was a 3. And then we got the 2 with a little bit of consolidation, like a 2-2, but it wasn't, price action really didn't move much. And then we got another 3. And I was like, okay. It's doing what it's doing. Yeah, on the daily.
Nice. Okay.
So we got the 3-2-2, yeah.
2. Oh, okay. Gapped up and then sold off, but okay. Nice. Yeah, this was almost you definitely could get on. I don't like to swing on Mondays, but I mean, getting it in on this on Monday, you wouldn't have really got.
And I went really far out the money. Yeah, not really far out, but I was pretty. Picked the contract or the strike with.
So you got out with this.
Target would be.
You got out on this. Got down.
Yep, I got out perfectly. Like at I think, what was it? Was that 147?
147.
Yeah, that's where I exited the position.
Okay.
Because at that point it was exhausted on the week. There wasn't much more for it to move.
Almost at the price target, but yeah, it's been falling.
Right.
Yeah.
And normally, if you know what the average true range is for a particular stock, like you know how much more it has to go, and whether you should take profit or continue to hold or roll it over.
That's why I love this thing, y'all. Y'all should have something on your chart that has the ATR right there. So when you're looking at the chart, you automatically know $4. Okay, boom. I can figure out my target. Is it $4 from there?
And also taking the right strike and everything like that. How much your stock moves in a day, how much it moves within a week, and if it can reach your price target within the week or within the next 2 weeks or within the next month or whatever.
The month, right.
Very important.
If you chose, 134, you would want to think like, even if this was like halfway through the month, okay, well, we have 14 days left and ATR of $3. Can it finish it? Yeah, I love that. Oh, okay. AXP, man.
Yeah, so on the 4 hour, like I pretty much traded off the 4 hour. So as long as everything stayed under the EMAs, is good to go. So we got the 212 down on Monday. I think that was Monday into Tuesday. 212 down. and then we had like a little bit of like a reversal, but also a rejection. Once I saw the rejection, I'm like, okay, I could still stay in. It didn't break above.
Right. Short through it.
And then the following day, we got like 222s straight down. And that's when I took my profit within the first 4 hours of the market being open. And then we got to the 2 and then continue back down. But yeah, took profit on Thursday.
Yeah, that was great.
At the bottom.
That was great. Right before all of this mess. Because this right here would have just took away money in premium. This was a great exit right there. Not being greedy, you know, seeing right here, it looks like they about took these people out. And you hit your target.
And that was it. I had no more to give. I could have played the reversal back up, got something like in the money, and then just played that little bit back up, but I just moved on to the next play, which was Netflix, and I got clapped.
Oh, yeah. Netflix. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah. I still think it's good. It's just, it was a little too early on this.
We got in too early. Like, I was anxious about it. Like, it got to go. Like, I was so anxious about that.
You said that too. You was like, I'm itching to buy puts.
Yeah, I was. I couldn't control it, but it all worked out. I made my money back, so it was good.
Netflix is going to fall. I don't know. I'm bearish on Netflix. I'm bearish on Netflix, unless you know.
I'm bearish too. It's just the gap that has me like, maybe not. I don't know, you know. So
I guess it does need to. I mean, it's been a resistance so far, so you know,
if it trading continues within the range too.
Yeah, this could, if it continues down, unless it breaks through here, I really think it'll stay bearish because. Yeah, I mean, last time we broke above, we stayed above, and now it's having a hard time. But it's tried 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 6 times. So,
well, you know, the cross is under the 200. It's bearish. So, automatically, that's kind of like a trick. Like if you're scared to play puts, that's like a little trick. In the 200 to a lower, and watching it on the lower time frame. And as long as it's trading under it, it's bearish.
I was saying the same thing about SPY because it's under the 200 on the daily. So when I was speaking on the show, the guy was saying SPY to 480, and y'all be careful with people yelling things out. But he said that, I want to say here, it was like 399. I think that he said that, maybe here, and he said from here, SPY was going to go to 480, and that we were done when we hit a bear market.
No,
that's super high. Like, we need to break this 200 first. Oh, sorry, that's my broad information. This is the 200. That's the wrong color. Oh, but yeah, we need to break above this and hold. You know, like we haven't been able to do that, and it's pointing down. You know, for me, a flat 200 and trading above that is bullish for a stock, and I learned that from Mr. Tony. But you know, that's kind of what we look for. 200 is just, will let you know. As long as it's trading under it, we're pretty much bearish. We have our little runs, but you see how it's used as they smack that thing down like a bad dog type of thing.
But if you want to catch a reversal, look at the 1 hour.
Yes.
If you ever want to catch a reversal, just look at the 1 hour. Yeah, you want to catch it.
And draw your broad information, yep. Because look at that.
Yeah, we see the rejection. Yep. Perfect.
Broad informations matter so much, and I don't even have all of them on here, but that's because I was showing someone something with this. So yeah, but it's important to draw them even all the way down to the 1 hour, especially if you're trading it for the day. just so that you can see points of resistance and ranges and things like that, knowing where it can go, etc., etc. So, but all right, y'all. I'll be trying to keep this within an hour, cause yeah, I just get to talking. But unless anybody has any questions, I mean, here for let me check the chat. I'm here for any questions if anybody has anything or any tickers they want to look at.
I didn't necessarily have a.
Wait, I can't hear you.
But I noticed it posts it's an indicator. I'm not sure if it's useful, but it basically tells you what's going on in a higher time frame as the candles that you charting in front of you are developing.
This is for Trading View? Oh.
Yeah, this is for Trading View. I can share my screen if you want to see it.
Oh yes, please do.
But,
I can stop mine. There we go.
So this is a XLP. This is what Costco's and Walmart and all that stuff is, but candles. And then this is the indicator down here. So it won't come like this. I had to actually edit it so that it just showed me these dots or whatever. But it's color coded. It's color coded, so I have it so that the white ones are inside candles, so that's a 1. The red ones are 2 down, and the green ones are 2 up, and then the black ones / kind of dark grayish ones are 3s. So basically, it's telling you. So this 1 hour candle is doing this to the day. So this is showing you the day. So for example, here you have this 2 up. You have 2 ups, and right here, those 2 ups are turning the day to a 2 up from an inside candle right here. So it's just like little stuff that you can notice without having to actually flip your chart to the day to see what's going on. You could just see it right here down here.
That's so
it kind of
cool.
just saves a little time.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna add that and play around with that. That's dope.
Yeah. And then you can add multiple instances of them. So you can, this one is the day. I can add another one that shows me the week. So it's all adjustable once you go into the settings here. And you can change the time frame. So it's already actually set to the week. So this is showing me what these 1 hour candles are doing to the week as well as to the day.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice hack right there. And you definitely don't have to keep switching. And then, if you do your 4 charts or 6 charts or whatever, you can have that all up there. Yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. No problem. Just helping however I can.
I appreciate that. Did you have anything you was looking at?
TOS.
I don't know. They better for TOS.
You know what? I'm about to get on board then.
Yes, you got to come on to Trading View, girl, because I love me some Trading View.
I also noticed it don't look like you got any favorites for your charts. I'm not sure if you just use one, standard chart setup, but me, I'm so nerdy and scientific with this stuff. So I have different layouts just to see different stuff. So like this is I think this is my Strat setup right here. So then if I want to kind of focus on volume, so I have a whole another chart setup with different indicators that I have saved up here so I can switch through them.
The part up here, I don't know how you did that part. Now I do have it like how you have it said Strat mode. I do have different ones that I use because the charts that I'm using now is not the ones that I have like all my lines and stuff drawn on. So I use a different layout for that, like when I'm analyzing the trades and stuff. But when I like share on Discord, I try to simplify it. So I use a different layout. But that's not what you're talking about up there, right?
I think it is. So do you have those layouts saved as templates?
Yes. Oh, so okay,
so
yours just looks different.
Just
Oh,
just
that's
start
how.
them, and then
Oh,
they'll show
hello.
up.
Love it. Okay, so you can just put it right because I was just using the drop down to switch in between them, but I didn't know you could do
Star
that.
them. So and then they'll show up right there. Yeah.
Okay. And did you draw those lines with the head and shoulder?
That's an arch. That's just some of the stuff is not showing. So you just use this arch and this arch tool, and you can make a head and shoulders. It's just not showing the. I have it. The settings is kind of so the background is clear. So that's
so
what it's
you
supposed to look
drew
like.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So I drew that.
Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Something's in a strong bearish downtrend. What is that? XLP.
Yeah, so that's Costco's. I'm sorry, Costco.
Oh, I thought that's not XLP.
Yeah, that's Costco's is in his. This is consumer staple stuff. So
Oh, duh. Okay.
this is going to tell you what this is doing. Costco is doing, and Walmart, and all the consumer staples. KO.
If I'm not
Pepsi.
mistaken, most of them, the time frame continuity is trying to flip red. It's just kind of still in conflict, like mostly everything. But yeah, that's trying to flip completely red. I think the only thing that's still green was it the quarter. I can't really see that. Yes. Oh yeah, it's the quarter. Kroger is interesting.
Yeah, Kroger's Costco's is expensive.
Yes, it
So
is.
sometimes I'll be
Whew.
looking for alternatives. So I'll go to Kroger's or BJ's sometimes, or Walmart sometimes too.
Yeah. Well, I think Walmart is in the S&P. It's not. It doesn't really move it much, but
Yeah, that's why I don't really mess with it. Whenever.
But Target, when it moves
Costco's is
now,
cool.
it can pay. So, and it's not super expensive. Target is pretty decent. But I feel like somebody. Oh, I think it was Misha. That was Nike.
Yeah, I forgot I was sharing my screen. I'm saying clicking through stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting here like, are you looking at anything? I'm just watching. You know, somebody else sharing. So I'm like, hey.
Right now, this week, next week, I'm just looking at the main stuff. So SPY, QQQ, SOXO, and ICLN. So that's going to tell me pretty much what everything else is going to do. So like I was saying, SPY looks, frighteningly like McDonald's. So why am I watching McDonald's and SPY? Let me just watch SPY and, save some of that brain power.
Right.
Or, plotting on some other stuff. So these are the main four. I haven't charted any of these. I think I started on SOXO. But this is basically just SMH, and I think it's like triple leverage. Yeah, so it's basically triple leverage SMH. So this chart will look exactly the same as SMH.
Oh, that's nice. So that's a cheaper way to play the chips.
Yes, ma'am.
Good chip. Good tip right there. What is that? XOXL. Okay. I'm gonna add that.
SOXO. Yes. I'm looking at that, and then I'm just looking at ICLN2 for clean energy, renewable energy. So this will tell me what Enphase is doing, what Plug is doing, First Solar, so all of that stuff. This I can just watch through this, and if this moves, I can go into that if I want to, or I can just play ICLN. Well, those are the four things I'm watching right there. I got a chart, still do some charting.
I'm adding those because I like ETFs. Yeah. And they cheap. Oh Lord, I love them. Ooh, child. It's the ones you can play in the money and catch the moves. Yes. I love it. Thank you for that, Jamal. I really appreciate that. For sure.
No problem.
But okay, I guess we can wrap it up, y'all. I guess everybody enjoy your long weekend. I've been looking at charts all day, so I think I'm not gonna look at anything. What'd you say, Kiki?
Said I'll be at work, unfortunately.
Not on Monday, right? Not on Monday,
later,
right?
y'all.
Okay. All right, y'all. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see y'all later.
I will
Bye.
do. See you.
Thanks
Enjoy
for coming.
yourselves. No problem.